Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachach Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the elect. That's what these lessons are for. Now, this video here is inspired by a experience I had on my job. You know, I go for my coffee break, and I sit in the park, you know, to eat something. I look to the left. There's a black woman with a Edomite girl, little girl babysitting her. You could tell it wasn't her child. Then I look to my right. There's another so-called black woman with an Edomite girl babysitting her. Then here it is. There was this ramp. There was another woman. She was a Latino woman, and she had an Edomite baby. You know, and I thought, I said, damn, man, our people, you know, are truly in slavery, man, to this very day. Now, it's not as hardcore as it was, you know, not too long ago, about 100 years ago. You know, it's not as intense as it was. Now, the Lord is, you know, lightening the load a little bit so we can be out there prophesizing, so on and so forth, without having dogs sicked on us, you know, so on and so forth, man. But I pulled up this video here, the history of Mammy, and I'm gonna play it. I'm not gonna play the whole video, but I will put it in the description box for you to check it out when you get a chance.
Mammy, Mammy, the sun shines east, the sun shines west, but I know where the sun shines best.
Which, by the way, this is an Edomite. This is an Edomite male in what's known as blackface. All right. So to mock us, they would put on, you know, black paint, you know, on their face paint, on their hands, so on and so forth, and try to imitate a so-called Negro. Okay. You see, he put like this you know, another set of paint around his lips to mock the full lips of a so-called black man. You know, you see what I'm saying? But here it is. Now you have these so-called white women. They're getting lip jobs. They're getting injections in their lips to make their lips fuller. All right. You see what I'm saying? Well, let's go ahead.
Mammy, my heartstrings are tangled around Alabama.
And Mammy was portrayed as an overweight, older, dark-skinned African-American woman. Oftentimes, she was a caregiver, maternal.
And listen, man, when I looked over to my left, the so-called black woman that was taking care of this child was definitely overweight. You know what I'm saying?
Non-threatening, obedient, and very submissive. She was a woman who worked in a white family and was the nurse of the family's children. This dates back to the slavery era in the United States. The African-American Mammy slave was shown opposite to the Jezebel stereotype. Her dress was always neat and clean.
And you know why? Because a woman goes where the power is. You know, the so-called black woman been turning their back on the so-called black man. The bishop Elder Tazadakba used to go into it, you know, years ago. How at first on the slave ships, they would, you know, at the first they would say, you know what? No, we're not gonna, you know, they would put up a fight when the so-called white man would grab them and try to bring them up there. Upstairs, you know what I'm saying, to have their way with them. They would put up a fight at first, but after a while they realized, wait a minute, the men that are in the bottom of the ship, they don't have no power. You know, you see what I'm saying? So they went with where the power was, which the power at that time, which it still is to this very day, is with the so-called white man. All right, why? Because the Heavenly Father allowed him that. The Lord gave him the power, okay, to do certain things, to fulfill prophecy, okay? But that time is coming to an end. So let's continue on.
For domestic work, always seen wearing a bonnet or headscarf reflecting ownership. Other characteristics included being large, a huge round smiling face, soothing voice, devoted to wives, large breasts, desexualized and sometimes hostile towards men. Mammy was the only one female slave that could act this way. She wasn't necessarily literate, but she had enough experience to raise the children and was educated by experiencing conflicts. If she wasn't attending to her master's needs, she was with her husband and children in the cabin. She worked long hours, and the duties were not as strenuous as other slaves, and was never up for sale. Oddly enough, Mammy was considered part of the family and was included in the inner circle.
Got to get out that.
Hey man, some of you so-called black women, you older women, you in this same spirit, man. All right, you in this same spirit to this very day, okay? But that time is coming to an end.
On and board, fix them up for the gents to wear. Praise the Lord, Mr. Loom. Is you ahead or is you ain't? Hi, Delcy. You stay here. Us is going to kill the high stepping that's loose in the yard and a great big bowl of milk gravy and grits. And waffles? Don't you worry none, honey. You's home now. Miss Rose.
Mammy characters were a staple of minstrel shows. This gave rise to show tunes done in Al Jolson's My Mammy from the jazz singer. Hattie McDaniel won an Oscar for her performance as Mammy in Gone with the Wind in 1939. Just like the Mammy figure Aunt Chloe in Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin, published in 1852, her work created a profound effect on attitudes towards African Americans during slavery. The book popularized the stereotype of the dark-skinned Mammy. Aunt Jemima had also gone through several makeovers. While appearing on TV in pancake boxes, Mammy would sometimes be seen with that head rag off, and her complexion became lighter. Esther Rose played a Mammy in the TV sitcom Maude. Other TV series featured Mammy such as That's My Mama, Give Me a Break, and What's Happening. In the book entitled Mammy, by the author Kimberly Wallace Sanders, she stated, "These depictions of African American mothers are consistent with those popularized through literature, travel narratives, and religious propaganda between 1820 and the 1850s. Before the phenomenal success of Uncle Tom's Cabin, pro-slavery authors used images of slave women with a white child as a symbol of racial harmony within the slave system."
Okay, so that's all I play. This is the guy's channel, the Dark Warrior Perspective. Like I said, I'll post this video in the description box. And hey man, the curses, we still under the curses, man. Now you had a Jake, I forget where it was at. I think no, it was in Akron, Ohio, that got shot. I think they shot at him 90 times and hit him 60 times, something like that. I forget the Jake's name, but it's safe to say that he's dead. Guess what? That's because we under the curses. This is Deuteronomy 28:37. And thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb. And what's a proverb? When these people speak about, oh, so-called black man likes fried chicken, the so-called black man likes watermelon. You see what I'm saying? They call you a coon. They call you a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Which nowadays, Jake been calling each other nigga, but it's taking on like a different, meaning nowadays. You see what I'm saying? Even though the true definition, really means black, it's a derogatory term that was put upon you during the time of your captivity, and even before that, because in the book of Acts, the 13th chapter, in the first verse, which I'm gonna get it right quick. It says it here, Acts 13:1. It says, Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that were called nigger. All right, so they go to word right there in the Bible. All somebody will say is that it's missing a G. The word there is nigger, which means black. It says in Lucius of Cyrene and Manian, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul. Okay, so they were calling, Jake that way back then. You see what I'm saying? It says, and a byword. Now let's look up this word byword, man. And a byword, it says,
Strong's H8148. Shenina. Shenina.
Which this is Yiddish. This is not the true pronunciation of this word in the Hebrew. The true pronunciation, this is a Shah, that's a Na, that's a Ya, and that's a Na, and that's a Ha. So it's Shana Yana. Alright, Shana Yana. Alright? It says sharp word, sharp cutting word, taunt, jib. It says something pointed. Yeah. So it's something made to embarrass you, something made to belittle you, so on and so forth, man. That's what it did during the time of slavery, man. So that's what we under. So when they call you, you know what I'm saying, a so-called nigger, or you know what I mean, even an African American, or a Negro, or a Puerto Rican, or a Dominican, these are all bywords, man. Or a Mexican, these are all bywords, because that is not your true nationality. Your true nationality is that you are from the tribes of the nation of Israel, whichever prospective tribe you're from Judah down to Issachar. That will be, your nationality. Okay. Like I'll say me, for instance, my name is Shamar Amat Banyamian, meaning what? Son of Israel, son of Benjamin, Ban Yasharallah, son of Israel. Okay, that's what I will be classified as. Okay, I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. Okay, you see, nowadays you go for a job, you'll put down African American, Latino. All right, so on and so forth. Native American. All right, it says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. And why were we led to these different nations? For our hard-headedness, so to speak. Now, when you go up to Deuteronomy 28, about 15, right here, it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So why did we suffer those things? Because we did not observe, all right, to do, it says to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day. All right, that's the reason why, we were overtaken by those curses, man. All right, because we disobeyed the Lord. See, it says here, consequences of disobedience. Okay, so the so-called white man, here it is, because guess what? We don't own this website, okay? The Blue Letter Bible. I mean, shit, by now we might as well, because we using it more than anybody, all right? But we don't own this website. So if you could break down this Bible like that, so you know who the true Israelites are, man. All right? See, the elites know that they are the Edomites, man. They know that they are the Edomites. They know that we are the Israelites. And that's why they have hidden that mystery from you so-called Negroes for such a long time. They tell you you're Africans, so on and so forth, and you eat it up like candy. But here it is. I don't see you so-called Negroes putting plates in your lip, and you so-called black women circumcising yourselves and whatnot, man. All right? So you've been lied to, man. And here it is. We've been telling you the truth. Pardon me, not goddamn. All right? We've been telling you the truth, and here it is. You're putting it behind you, man. Okay? So going back to this Mammy thing, man. That's our people, being, in a low situation under the curses, man. All right, and this is similar to the situation that I saw there in that park. All right, Isaiah 4:49 and 23, and the kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. So guess what? The tables are gonna be reversed, man. You see this right here? Now maybe I'm not gonna have no Edomites taking care of my children in the kingdom of heaven, but we damn sure ain't gonna be doing that no more, man. You other nations are gonna be looking after our children, man. So it says, and kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens shall be thy nursing mothers. Alright? So who are going to be the new mammies in the kingdom? You other nations. The women of the other nations are going to be that, man. It says, they shall bow down to thee with their face towards the earth. So they're going to be in a state of submission. Just like when I played this video here, he said in the video that a mammy was submissive. Guess what? You're going to be submissive, man. It reads, and lick up the dust of thy feet. That's right. That's the state of submission you're going to be in. You're going to be beaten into submission, man. It says, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. And we patiently waiting for them. When I say we, I'm talking about the brothers in this truth, okay? The brothers that have been enduring in this truth and that are waiting patiently for the second coming, all right, of the Lord. Okay? We getting ready to receive that, man. You think, here it is, you got brothers that they may have children and they might not be able to come to camp a certain week because they got to look after their child. They're not going to have to do that in the kingdom. First of all, we're not going to be teaching the word in the kingdom, because why? It's going to be putting our inward parts, all Israelites, from birth. So you're never going to sin. But you are not even going to be taking care of your children. First of all, the Spirit of the Lord is going to be upon them, man. All right? To where they're going to be playing with serpents and whatnot, man. It tells you that in the scriptures. And guess what? These other nations are going to be looking after our children, man. All right? Let me see. What's the scripture at, man? Look at the word den. There it is. This is Isaiah 11 and 8. It says, and the sucking child, meaning you got a toddler that's still on the breast, shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice's. Cockatrice is another serpent. The cockatrice den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in my holy mountain, which that holy mountain is talking about Israel. All right. Now you other nations, you got a so-called white like them little devils I saw today. And guess what I was thinking about when I saw that little devil? The first, when I looked to my left, I thought about the book of Psalms, where it tells you that we're gonna pretty much, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones, man. That's what I was thinking about, man. Because you know why? Because that's the prophecy, man. Okay? That's what I was thinking about. So in the kingdom of heaven, Israelite babies are going to be playing with poisonous serpents, so on and so forth, and it's not going to hurt them. They shall not hurt nor destroy in my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. All right? So that's the time we coming to, man. James 5:4. Behold, the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields. That's right, man. The reason why America became great is because of Israel, man. Slave labor. Free 100% slave labor. Who provided that? Our people, man. Okay? It says, behold, the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud. And that's another part of the curses, man. Hey, because in Deuteronomy 28, I think it says brass. Let me see. Let me look that up right fast. It should be in Deuteronomy 28. Okay, Deuteronomy 28 and 23. It says, and thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. Meaning what? That you so-called Negroes are going to be in between. This is called a catch-22, between a rock and a hard place. All right? You see what I'm saying? You're going to have a hard time. There's only going to be a certain level you can get up to in this society. All right? You see what I'm saying, man? So the time for retribution is going to come, man. You know, we've been kept back by fraud, man. All right? It says, let me read that again. Behold, the hire of the laborers, we are the laborers, by the way, you know, the Israelites, who have reaped down your fields. That's why America prospered. The cotton gin, those cotton fields. Who was picking them bales of cotton? You know, those cane fields, or who was plucking that cane that made the islands great and whatnot, man. Made America great and whatnot. Israelites, man. Which is of you kept back by fraud. Crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, not the Lord of Sabbaths, like some of these false teachers out there tell you. This word Sabaoth really means armies. Now let's look it up. Let's see what it says here in the Greek. Supposed to be in the Hebrew. It says Tazabah. Let me see. Okay. Tazabah. That's right. It says that which goeth forth, army. Okay. Which is talking about the Heavenly Father, man. The Lord of armies. Now the Lord got an army of men that he's raising up. The Lord got an army of nuclear missiles. And the Lord got an army of angels, man. The Lord got an army of animals. The Lord got plenty armies, man, that he could raise up. Alright? You see what I'm saying? He is the Lord of Sabaoth, man. Alright? So, hey, man, it's been a quick lesson, man. Lord will you brothers were edified, man. Like I said, I'm going to post this lesson, this video here in the description box. And Lord will see you brothers on the next one. Shalom.